Right around the country, it is the Danny Lakey Late Show on 131060.
The following content is of an adult nature, and it may make some listeners blush, say, oh my God, or even cause offence. Feel free to turn the radio down in 3, 2, 1.
With Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
Dr. Nikki Goldstein is here. We will be talking about sex and, more importantly, pleasure. Ooh, the P word. God, yeah, the old pleasury. Oh, you get onto that mic, actually.
Oh, there we go.
There
There's one
you
that works.
Yeah, yeah.
You wanted to shut me up, didn't you?
No, not at all. I mean, can we play the new phrase siren? I think probably we should play the new phrase siren because no longer is it I'm as excited as a kid in a candy store. The new phrase has to be I'm more excited than a 29-year-old guy at a sex toy showroom. Because today was off the chain when we went to the sex toy showroom.
Yes, well, I had to give you a bit of a surprise by showing you really how to get your mojo on for me.
There must have been at least 200 vibrators.
More.
I reckon there was definitely more than
terrifying.
that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I think I educated Danny, but I've shocked Shuey Louie.
Oh, they were all the most bizarre, scary sizes and shapes and all these weird little things.
And she
then
couldn't
I
turn
couldn't
one
turn things off, so then I was going, help, Nikki!
I hear this noise in the back. I can't turn it off.
Usually you just hold down the button, don't you?
Oh, no, this one was like a complex
confusing.
one. This is the problem, is that the world of sex toys is never really simple. Like, there's things that do things and they go to apps and it's all wireless. So that's kind of why I've created a sex toy little website to try and make things a little bit easier and streamlined. So you got to get a taste of some of the things that I have online today. I think the Tenga egg was the favourite one, which you did.
Was that the thing that I managed to
I
nick?
was like, you did
Like
take it.
has one now.
Yeah, that's good fun. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because some people go, "Ooh, don't talk about your Tengu egg, mister. You can have a little too much fun with that. It's so funny, like the pleasure thing, and the second it comes down to the genitals, all of a sudden it's taboo, isn't it? Like I could
People
just
freak out about vibrators.
I can massage my shoulders right now, but that's quite physically sensationally nice, isn't it?
Plastic with an engine.
Bought a fleshy piece of silicone today for my penis, guys. Whoa! Too much pleasure, man.
But when you think about it, it can't get you pregnant, right? It can't give you an STI. Like, there's nothing wrong with it except hopefully you get the right one in the right hole and you also use the right lubricant with one. Other than that, what's the big deal?
Yeah. No, second I get home tonight, guys.
You're going to be using the egg.
If there's
Probably
anyone
in his
out
back
there.
pocket still.
Nah, it's on my desk
was
at the moment,
touching it
actually.
before,
No, I had to wash it out. I left it. I put it in the dishwasher. Just
You know they're
wash it.
one-time use.
Wash the lube out of it, huh?
They're one-time use, those ones.
You put it in the dishwasher,
I'm
Lakey.
guys, I'm
In the work dishwasher, you put a sex
I haven't
toy.
used
Oh, he hasn't
it. I haven't
ejaculated yet.
used it yet. I'm eco-friendly, guys. I'll be using that
Still,
thing.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe
Oh.
we should start a segment, how many wanks can you get out of a Tinker egg?
Challenge set.
Oh,
Easy. Get back to you by next
And
Wednesday.
whoever guesses it will get free Tinker eggs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There you go.
I
I'll
mean,
donate
the
them.
ladies, let me play devil's advocate for a second here. Let's just say,
Okay.
for argument's sake, there were 250 different shaped phallic-like vibrators in that showroom today.
Not all of them were phallic.
No, I mean, they were all doing...
Clitoral vibrators.
They were
are not
basically all
phallic.
doing the same thing. I mean, how many times can you skin a cat? It seemed a little overboard
Oh,
for me.
Danny.
No, I'm serious. I mean, 250 100
Okay,
different vibrators.
we don't know that there's 250 vibrators, but there's different sensations, there's different vibrations, there's different intensities, there's different shapes, there's different materials. Some are like you plug in the wall and they're that gudung, and some are just a little nice, dainty little.
What about
vibe.
that little bug thing that you showed me and that
the
just
Dane.
sits there?
That's one of my favorite because it sits in the labia and it's like the hands free. So it sits on top of the clitoris and it's got these little arms that kind of push underneath
Hooks
the
in
skin. And then you have sex. Well, you can have sex with it. You can just use it like that. But you could have intercourse and be having that stimulate the clitoris at the same time.
As a male with a phallus, I feel threatened and insecure.
But your penis doesn't hit the clitoris, right? There is an issue here when it comes to men and women having sex, that as much as 80% of women achieve their orgasm through clitoral stimulation, what does your penis stimulate? The G-spot on a lucky day too, because it's on the anterior the roof of the vaginal canal. So unless it lips upwards or you've got a really good position, we have a problem. So why can't women have orgasms too?
Well, we had a bloke last week who was that was one of his concerns, wasn't it? That she couldn't get off during their sex. She had to use sex toys. And he thought,
And
what do I do
threatened.
in this? Just kiss her neck or something?
Yes.
Sing sweet songs.
But if he had something like the Dame where it sits there and goes on the clit and, then he could actually be having sex with her while that thing is doing its job.
Yeah, get yourself a Dame, man. Get a Dame back in the game. 131060, if you do have a question for Dr. Nikki Goldstein, give us a call. She's a sexologist and relationship expert. Maybe you want to spice up your life. Maybe you want to kickstart it. Anything. And I tell you what, we've got a sex toy to give away tonight as well.
To celebrate the fact that I actually got this website up, I have an Amarino mini vibrator by Fun Factory. So the first question, and it better be a good one, is going to get this baby.
Right. Are you sure that's mini? Because that seems
It's
about my size.
Very large.
Listen, it's a little bit smaller than what's on the market. And for everyone else, I'm throwing in a 10% discount code that's Danny tonight.
Cool.
Do you feel special? It's Danny.
Yeah,
Just
I like
Danny.
that. I like that a lot. All right. Oompa loompa dumpity doo. Dr. Nikki may have a sex toy for you. 131060. Give us a call. Your questions, best one, first one will score the vibrator tonight. Get them on next. Avicii, Aloe Black, SOS. It plays on the Danny Lakey Late Show. Around the country.
The following content is of an adult nature, and it may make some listeners blush, say, oh my God, or even cause offense. Feel free to turn the radio down in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about sex with Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
There we are. We're talking all things pleasure with Dr. Nikki Goldstein. It is part of Mojo May, encouraging people to get their mojo back or reignite their mojo. Get
their mojo back, I think is the right way to say it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's get this. Oh no, it is you can get your mojo back.
yeah. Well, it's the Mojo Restoration Boot Camp. That's what I like to say.
I think we've covered all bases, really.
Yeah. Well, the sex toy showroom today was fantastic. And what an insight there is for women of all shapes and sizes to get involved in the fun.
I'd love to. It was huge.
There
There
was
was something.
That
there.
one thing that was almost a metre.
Yeah, big 18-inch insight. I know the one you're talking
How did
about.
I miss that one?
That big thing that looked like a
Shuey-
microphone.
Shuey
It
Lou was
no,
holding
that
it
was
the whole time.
Wands. Oh no, they're
Okay.
the wands that you plug in the wall and they could probably power a boat.
Always,
Terrifying.
I get worried for females if you need to be plugged into the grid to get off. I mean, that's a deep hole to fill, really.
Oh well, each to their own, Danny.
We've got questions on 131060, and the first one through is Caitlin in Sydney. Hey, Caitlin.
Hey,
What's your question to Dr. Nikki Goldstein?
I'm 28 and I have still never been able to climax on my own or with a partner.
Okay, Caitlin, I am so happy that you're the first caller because that means that you're getting the Amarino by Fun Factory.
So we need it.
Exactly. I was like, this probably sounds like exactly what you need because it's very normal for women to struggle with achieving an orgasm. And for a lot of women, it's finding that right thing that works for them. But obviously, the older we get, the more pressure we put on ourselves. And then when we're in that mode and we're trying to have sex, but we've got this voice in our head that's saying, hang on, why can't I have an orgasm? Or maybe that's nearly close. It actually shuts us down at the same time because we're pressuring ourselves. So what I am going to prescribe to you is some nice relaxation and masturbation time with our Amarino here, but also finding ways to quieten your mind and relax. So it's one thing to be able to experiment with something like a sex toy, but you also need to start working out ways of, is it meditation? Is it listening to an app? Is there something that you find helps for you? Is it putting on music? Is it watching TV and then going to bed? Making sure that you tune out in order to tune back into your body.
Can I ask a question as well? On a scale of 1 to white knuckle, knee clenching, pulsating 10, where do you max out at? I mean, obviously, let's say the orgasm's the 10, and then just me standing here right now is a 1. Where's your max?
Probably a 6.
Okay. Oh, it's an interesting question, isn't it?
It is, but you
can't
don't know
climb
what
it.
Still
your max
enjoying
is.
this.
You can still enjoy
No.
sex with having an orgasm, but you're
Yeah.
never going to know what your max is till you know when you've maxed.
That's true. The real people I feel sorry for are the ones who've only ever had an orgasm once because they've been to the well and they know what they're missing out on.
But we've actually never had someone call in and say, hey, I've only ever had an orgasm once. I've never been able to do it again.
I know.
So notice that.
Yeah.
Because once you know how to do it, then you know how to do it again. It's just that first time that's just sometimes a little bitch.
Best of luck to you, Caitlin,
Yes.
on your quest for the big O. Hopefully, Dr. Nikki's sex toy will help you along the way. Chantel.
I'll make sure Danny doesn't touch it, by the way.
In Melbourne. What's your question to Dr. Nikki?
Hey guys, so I've been with my partner for 8 years now, and he's been asking me to have threesomes, and I'm just not too sure if I feel comfortable with having another girl and what kind of way to go about it. Do we have a stranger or someone that we know, or
Is he legitimately just pushing for the girl? He does it. It's not a threesome.
Yeah.
He just
It's
wants
a girl.
two girls.
Which is
He
the most
just wants
common
another girl.
fantasy.
Oh, no, I know, but it's interesting when the roles are about, well, I'm down for a threesome. Let's put an ad out on Gumtree. Let's find the hottest
No,
hunk with the biggest
Lakey.
penis.
Yeah, and then they all change their tune, don't
Exactly.
they? Well, my biggest thing for you is that you need to feel comfortable with whatever you decide to do. So if you're not so sure about having a threesome and you're not really sure if it's something that you would fantasize about, that you're into, don't feel like you're being pushed into something that you have to do, because that's just the recipe for disaster, because then something might happen or you might get triggered if you find yourself in that situation. What you need to explore is whether you actually do find this a turn on and where the barriers are. Is it jealousy of seeing maybe your partner with somebody else? If that's the case, and you think, it actually doesn't sound so bad being with a girl, I've always been curious, there's always a way to construct these circumstances based on where you feel comfortable and uncomfortable. So, for example, you like the idea of being physical with another woman, but you're nervous about seeing your partner in a situation and you might feel jealous. Okay, so therefore a threesome could go ahead that's more about him watching you and another girl and being involved with you, but not necessarily having sex with her. So this is really about, first of all, exploring fantasies to see, is this something that I'm actually turned on by? But moving forward, it's then about looking at boundaries and creating a scenario where you can at least have the confidence that you feel safe.
I'd like to just add in a Danny Lakey gateway tip. Maybe try and incorporate a sex doll. A female sex doll. Yeah, as a halfway house and see how you feel first. Threesome with a sex. Threesome. No, seriously, threesome
Well, I can't
with
know
a
where you're
female
going with
mannequin
that.
sex doll.
That
Yeah.
you use.
Oh, just as a gateway to see, to test the waters.
Well, that's actually why some people use sex robots.
Yeah.
They actually go and buy sex robots because they want to have a safe threesome. But don't do the blow-up doll like
No,
the sex
no,
robots.
no,
But the sex robot's too expensive. Maybe just watch some porn with your partner first and see how you feel about having another woman's sounds in the room.
Yeah, then the sex doll.
That's
And
the
if
gateway.
that's too expensive, just go to Supro. They're chucking out mannequins all the
Oh,
time.
Danny.
It's an easy gateway, guys. It's an easy gateway.
Danny.
Thank you,
Oh,
Chantel. No more sex toys left for you, but a Danny Lakey goodie sack. Well done. Just as good. Just as good. Banana flavour massage all in there. Treat yourself. And that Supre mannequin. Thank you, Dr. Nikki
The
Goldstein.
Thank
Super
you.
Mannequin will not be in there, I can clarify.
Oh, you never know.
And for everybody, you do get 10% off at Dr. Nikki Shop for the next week if you type in Danny at checkout. And that's my little gift for you for having to put up with Danny for all this time.